I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter, and this is the Family Showdown!
Greetings. Da, da, da.
We have arrived! Top 10! Top 10! What?
I said, let's go.
Howdy, folks. I'm Hunter, this is Rebecca. You may know us, may not. I don't know. All right, top 10 of all time!
Forever and ever.
We have arrived. We've journeyed through actually 100 other games if you count the beginning show.
It's a long time ago.
We've arrived at the end of the road. That's gonna be a great ending because this is crazy. Anyway, all right. Always do a sneak peek. You gonna do a sneak peek? Let's do a sneak peek. 2 new games in my top 10. What? 2 new games in the top 10, and a lot of old familiar faces
In the chat as well.
All right, let's do this. Start right away. I didn't do the, I can do the buttons. I didn't even think about that. Let's see. I can actually do the buttons. Let's do it.
Number 10.
Uh-oh, what is that at the bottom of the screen? All right, apparently the buttons aren't gonna work. So much for the button!
Was that English?
It was from our last show. Hi guys, we're live. My number 10 is a new game, one of the 2 new games. What are you laughing about?
I called neutral old.
That's not, my number 8 is not Odenbergen Canal or whatever. But my number 10 is Dune Imperium.
I approve.
So new to the list, yeah, I love this game, like a lot, like really a lot, like a ton, a lot.
Could that be why it's your number 10?
It's my number 10. So this is the, if you don't recognize it, this is the deluxe upgrade box component thing. But we only played with it once with the upgrade stuff. But played this game many times. I love it. It is a smash up of worker placement and deck building, which I love the worker placement. I don't like deck building, but it works well in this case. Has area control, has combats, has all sorts of fun stuff. Tracks you're moving up. But what I like most about it probably is that it's a race to victory points. So it's not like a point salady, gather as many points as you can game. It's first one to get a certain number of points. Well, triggers the end of the game, but then whoever has the most at the end wins. But it's a race for points. A lot of deck builder games, you have like this card's worth 2 points, and this card's worth 1 point, and this card's worth 4 points, or whatever. None of that stuff, none of that nonsense. This is all about getting points. So you get points for moving up tracks, you get points for winning combats. There actually is some cards you can buy. A lot of deck builders have that really crazy, stupid, expensive card you can buy for victory points. This has that too. Love this game. Got often compared to Runes of Arnak for similar mechanisms. I don't like Runes of Arnak. I don't even know. Is it in my top 100?
Oh, are you serious?
I don't even know if it's in my top 100.
What?
Maybe it is.
What?
I don't know. I'm not going to look. But anyway, but I love this one much, much more than Arnak. For all the reasons that it has area control and things like that that goes on. It's more attacky. You're going to notice a lot of attacky in my top 10.
You are very attacky. This is my number 59.
Oh, it's pretty high for you. Area control is not your cup of tea.
That tells you how good this is.
So, love this game. This is one of the games I'm actually going to be playing at the World Series of Board Gaming. So, I'm excited. I'll be able to play this game like 1,000 times this year. So, we just, over there on our shelf of opportunity, we just got the expansion. We haven't got the chance to try it yet. I heard it improves the game, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be playing with the expansion a lot during the year because the expansion is not part of the competition. So I don't want to learn to play the game with the expansion.
Right.
So anyway, highly recommended. It's super hyped, and for good reason, in my opinion. It is an awesome, awesome game. Dune Imperium.
Well played.
And the upgrade bits are cool too. Changes cubes into little miniatures. You have little soldier guys.
So
cute.
nerdy. So beautifully unnecessary, but lovely. Just so you know, Lost Ruins of Arnak is my 66, so it's 7 places.
So you like it better too?
I do.
Well, since we're talking about it, while you're moving that away, I'll find where Lost Ruins of Arnak is on my list. 98. 98. So 88 places lower.
That's vastly.
88 times better. So move on to my number 9. I do a fancy intro, but it's going to pop up a weird number on the screen if I do the cutscene. So move on to my number 9. Let's see what we got here. It was my number 8 last time, so man, it dropped greatly from 8 to 9. It was my 5 way back in 2016. 5, 5, 4, 3, 8, 9. So it's got to be a great game. And it is because it's Champions of Midgard. The game Rebecca hates. She used to love this game, and then she hated the game, and now she still hates it.
No, with the 2 expansions, I enjoy this game.
Champions of Midgard. What? Love Champions of Midgard. This is another another kind of combo game because this has got worker placement. And one of the things you can do with your workers is go out and get dice, and the dice have are basically your warriors, your things you battle with, your troops. So you have axe dudes and bow guys and spear guys, and they have different faces on their dice. And then you gear up, you load up your boat, and go out and you fight epic creatures. You fight trolls and Draugr and sea monsters and all sorts of fun stuff. And if you got the expansions, you fight even more crazy things. That highly recommend the expansions. The Valhalla expansion, especially, is probably one of my top few most required expansions. Valhalla. Dark Mountains is okay. It adds kind of more of the same for the most part, but Valhalla adds some cool mechanisms. One of which is if your dice die, which they can do, you can go out and fight the sea monster, and the sea monster just rocks your world.
Right.
You get some bennies for your guys going to Valhalla. You get benefits for them dying, so you don't completely get just screwed over for all your dudes dying, which Rebecca likes.
Because my dudes die a lot.
I tell you, one of these days, I'm gonna tick marks.
Nope.
On how often she rolls better than average on her rolls. You just remember the bad times and forget the good times.
I'm typically optimistic.
You're a pessimistic dice roller.
That's possible. That's entirely possible.
Champions of Midgard, love it so much. It is so good. I don't think we've played it without the expansions since the expansions came out because we always play with them. Mm-hmm. Get some cute little pink dice. It's awesome.
Whatever, they actually kick a lot of butt. I'm just gonna say I don't like the color
pink dice. The berserkers,
I think so. Yes,
the berserkers.
One of my faves.
Love it. Again, highly recommend the expansions. But yeah, it's a good one. Worker placement, dice rolling, combat. What more can I say? Amazing.
I'm looking to see if I even decided to rank it.
Used to be high up on our list, and then she got like.
Oh, it's my 195.
Oh, get out of here. It's my 195. It made my top 200.
You know what? You should be excited about that because that game was the bane of my existence before the expansions, okay?
Oh my God. Champions of Midgard, my number 9.
You gotta play it, Buki.
It's a good one. It's a good one. If you like
neutral.
They say it's I consider it a hybrid game because it takes all these Euro elements of worker placement and set collection and hidden goals and things like that you would see in a lot of Euro games, but then it has dice combat on top of it, which is awesome.
I think you and Neutral have been talking because now he's like, Rebecca doesn't play good games anymore, and I'm like,
pretty much. It's pretty much true. All right, let's move on to my next game. It is a oldie, but not too old. It was new last year. It was new last year, and it came on the list at number 4. And now it's dropped all the way to 8, so it's twice as bad? Is that how it works? It's
yes.
Not twice as good as it used to be? I don't know. As Coraloo, who's in our chat, says...
Yes, indeed.
18 Cheesecake.
Yes.
18 Chesapeake, by far my favorite 18XX game. It's not
even with the MS one that came out?
MS was way down, Mississippi was way down somewhere.
Okay.
Where was it? It was way down the list.
Okay. I am intrigued.
You're making me look for it now.
Yep, that's right.
1830 was at 59.
Okay.
Where's Mississippi?
I'm looking to see where I put 18 cheesecake.
Where's Mississippi? It's on here somewhere, I thought.
Did I put on 18 cheesecake?
Anyway, I'm not going to look. Anyway, by far my favorite 18xx game. This used to be what I considered the best introduction to 18xx, but now 18ms is better. But 18ms is maybe too quick, too abrupt, too kind of on rails, on rails of a game.
Gross.
This one's my sweet spot. It's about, for most 18xx games you're talking 4 or 5 hours. This one's a 3-hour game. 2 players. It plays well 2 players, which I like as well. It's got a great map. It's easy to teach compared to a lot of 18xx games. It's just fits the sweet spot of what I want. 1830 is a little too long. 18ms is a little too short. So this falls right in the happy middle ground between those two. I like all the games on the 1830 series. If you're an 18xx geek, there's a 1830 was the original, and then they created all these variants of 1830. Okay. And all my favorites are variants of 1830. I also enjoy 1846. That's gone down my list because that one just seems, for whatever reason, seems to be a much meaner game.
Is it Xeris' fault?
No, it was
Tommy's fault.
It was 1889 is the one that the infamous
the year of infamy.
Basically burned my rail yard and it blew up my trains. Kidnapped my conductors.
I like how this now turned into like a Michael Bay movie or something. Hunter's like just.
I love it. I love it. This is my favorite. It's not even close. If you're going to say, hey, let's play an 18xx game, this is the one I'm going to pull out to play because this is the best one. In fact, I got 1846 on my. I don't know if you can see it. It's up there. It may go away. 1846 may go away because I don't know how often I would actually play that over this. So.
Xeris wants to know, since he's gone from your nemesis to now just being infamous, is that an upgrade or a downgrade?
Well, infamous, it's more like it's in the past, right?
Oh, okay.
So infamous is like.
So is he your current nemesis?
I don't know.
Or is that back to Tommy again? You just.
Tommy's in nefarious. That's different.
Okay.
Where did 1846
I'm looking
go?
at 30 things. There's like a mess scale, and now there's a
1846 dropped way down my list, so I don't even know where it is. Who knows where 1846 is? So it's on the outscenes. 1846, your days are numbered.
Oh, wow.
18 cheesecake, my number 8.
I'm kind of hungry for dessert now. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, let's move on to my number 7. One of the few games that went up. It came from outside the top 10. Into the top 10. It was my 14 last year. It was new last year at 14. Came on list at 14. It's gone up to 7 because I played it a couple of times, and I actually played it at a decently high player count.
Okay.
And I love it. That is Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea. This is one of the expansion boxes. I have 2 expansion boxes with all my junk in it. I got rid of the base game box. Mm-hmm. Heroes of Land, Sea, and Air, it's not another for this list. 4X game, fantasy themed, very asymmetrical, area control, attacky, you build up your troops, you power up all your guys, collect resources. Oh, so good. So good. This reminds me a lot of, and I think it's intentionally that way, it reminds me a lot of your real-time strategy games, like your Warcraft and Starcraft and those kind of games where you start off and you got like just like your little capital city and a couple of dudes, and they go out and they collect resources, and then you start making more troops and you build up your capital to make it more defensive and power up your guys and get boats and airships and all sorts of stuff. It reminds me of that real-time strategy game mixed in a 4X area control, attacky, fighty game. Yep. So good. I want to play an epic like 7-player or 8. I think it goes up to 7 or 8.
That would be pretty amazing, actually.
Game of this. I think the most I played is 5. 5 maybe? Maybe 5. Anyway, love this game. So good. I've got not everything for it. I've got all the races. I don't have all the mercenaries. You can buy little mercenary packs that you can hire mercenaries to fight for you. I don't have hardly any of those. I may not have none of those, but I have everything else except for the mercenaries. Those didn't interest me. It seemed like that's kind of a sidestep to the game, but it is what it is. Anyway, it takes a ton of space because you have little cardboard towers and airships and boats and stuff, and so it's just piles and piles of cardboard, and it's a craft project to build all those things when you first get it.
But you do get to keep them intact in the box once you're done. So
Correct.
it's a one and done project.
That's why I have 2 massive boxes. This is a pretty good sized box to hold all this stuff, because it's just tons of towers and cardboard stuff.
Yeah.
Love the races. They're, like I said, they're very asymmetrical. They're very almost thematic with what their abilities are. You know, you got it has all the generic ones: elves and dwarves and humans and sea mermen and undead and all the normal standard fantasy tropes, as they say. Is that right? Tropes.
Sure.
Did I use that right? Tropes. Fantasy tropes.
So this one is not in my top 200, but because it's not the kind of game I like.
Oh yeah, this is
But-
the antithesis. Antithesis.
Okay.
Is that good? Is that good?
Yep.
Yeah, of what you like in a game.
It is typically, but because you love it so much and it's such a well-designed game, if you say, "Hey, let's play it," I'll play it, and I enjoy it playing with you.
It's fun.
Because,
It's fun.
Like really, the pieces are really fun, and all of the different races are completely asymmetrical and do all sorts of funky things. The ones I played the last time, or was the time before, were like they cover their whole island with like this little
Water.
thin layer
Yeah,
of
you're the
water,
bird
and
creatures.
I could swim everywhere.
They basically
Like, my
terraform the
traveling-
land around them, and you can move super fast.
It was insane. So I was like all over the place, and it was really fun. I mean, I'm still not probably aggressive enough to be very successful in this game ever, but I love playing it. It's really cool. Paul now wants to know what level he's at, because there's like Nefarious and Infamous and all these different things. He needs to know where he's at after his.
Notorious.
Oh, you're up to Notorious.
Paul is notorious. He's the notorious Pharaoh of destruction.
I'm liking this. This is great.
Heroes of Land. I always want to say land, sea, and air. Don't ask me why. Land, air, and sea. Great 4X game. I can see some people I've heard complain that it's like super generic fantasy, but I like super generic fantasy, so I like this game. So that's my number. What number is that? 7. It was my 14 last time, so I like it twice as much.
And what number was that this time?
7.
7. Okay.
14 last time, 7 this
18
time.
cheesecake
Was 8.
Was 8.
Should have made it 18.
That would have been funny.
All right, let's move on to the other new game. 2 new games. Here's the other new game. This one beat up its older brother, knocked the older brother down 9 spaces. The older brother went from 11 to 20. This one's debuting at number 6 because a world is much better than an island. You get the Dinosaur World. Roar. Rebecca hates this game.
I do not. I want to play it more.
Dinosaur World.
On one play, I still like Dinosaur Island better. Just saying.
They're both amazing games, but
They are
I like this
freaking
game
awesome.
better.
This is my
because
8-1 right now.
It's like someone gives you a cupcake without icing, and it's the best cupcake you ever had, right? That's Dinosaur Island. Then someone comes along and puts a little chocolate icing on top of that cupcake. And you're like, you made that cupcake even better. Dinosaur World. Anyway, so Dinosaur Island, to kind of compare and contrast, Dinosaur Island, you're basically collecting DNA, you're making dinosaurs, you're putting them in your park, you're building shops and all this other sorts of stuff. Amazing, awesome game. This one has all that, but you get in a Jeep and drive around your park. Awesome. Put me on a boat, put me in a Jeep, let me drive around. Plus points, plus points. So yeah, so this is basically Dinosaur Island. Same. It feels familiar if you play Dinosaur World. It feels familiar if you play Dinosaur Island.
Yes.
But in Dinosaur Island, if you build a snack shop or you build an amusement ride or something like that, it just kind of goes out and gives you points or whatever. This one, you get in your Jeep and you actually drive your little customers around, and they go and visit the different locations, and you get points and things like that. They go to visit the dinosaur.
Unless you forget to, pay your employees, and then you're like, sorry guys, the shop's closed today.
You do have to. There is more of a puzzle in terms of allocating your workers, because not only you have to allocate your workers for collecting DNA and building and collecting things like that, you also have to man your little shops, because if your shop doesn't have a worker, it's not running. So they go there and there's no worker there, nothing happens. So you have to allocate your workers more. It's a little more puzzly in that aspect, but I love the fact that you go out and you drive around and physically move around your park and visit different attractions. And what's cool, one of the mechanisms is the more you visit the same part of the park, they get bored with it. Like, I've seen the T-Rex thing 4 times. I'm tired of it.
Oh, heavens.
I don't want to see it anymore.
You know
Show me
what?
something new.
Those privileged peeps need to get some perspective. I say cut them loose in the dinosaur pen and see how boring they find that. Just saying.
These Dinosaur World also has screen printed dinosaurs, which I think look cooler. There's so many. It's just an improvement on the. It's obvious they took the Dinosaur Island and improved on the idea, in my opinion.
IMO, SMH.
What just happened? So anyway, I love this game. It's so fun. I want to play it right now. So we're gonna turn off the cameras. I'm gonna go play Dinosaur World. No, love it.
He probably would.
Love
Can you
this.
play it solo? Because I could see you playing it solo and
I
him
don't think
driving
this
this
is a
little Jeep
solo game.
around. You'd play 2 players. by
It is a
yourself.
solo game.
Oh, geez.
Well, I don't even need Rebecca to play this because she doesn't like this game.
Oh.
What'd you do? What'd you do over there?
Nothing at all.
Rewind the tape. What I missed what she
Well,
did.
it was just on the screen.
Anyway, Dinosaur World, I highly recommend it. If you like Dinosaur Island and you're looking for a little more icing on your cake, as I said, Dinosaur World, amazing. It is more complicated, harder to teach, but more rewarding. What?
I'm just, the content is everybody's talking about desserts now and cupcakes, and I don't even know what's happening.
I am a little hungry. That's probably why I'm giving all these food references.
Stop.
All right, let's move on. Top 5. Top 5. Oh my goodness. Let's move on to a game that went up, but it's been hanging around number 5 for a while. It was way back in 2015, one of the few games that were on my list in 2015. It was 4, then 9, then 9, then 6, then 5, then 7, now back to 5 after a brief stint at 7. My second favorite sandbox game.
Oh, is this? Yep, okay.
In space!
Zaya.
Zaya Legends of a Drift System. So good.
Another one with a ridiculously, needlessly long title. It's like 3 letters.
Everyone calls it Zaya. No one says Legend of a Drift System.
You do.
But it's supposed to be Drift System because it changes every time you play.
Right.
So, Drift. Anyway, love Zaya. So this is what the kids call a sandbox game. What that means is
and the kids.
you're just given a ship and a dream.
And some dice.
And you can go out and fulfill your dream however you want.
Or fly into the sun.
You can go out and explore.
Go
you
on,
can do
Icarus.
explorations. You can do missions. You can merchant. You can go pick and deliver stuff. Go grab some goods, deliver it to some other goods. You can go out and raid merchants. You can go beat up other players. Whatever you want. It's your little oyster, your little sandbox. You can build whatever sandcastle you want in this game. Love Zaya. I mentioned back at Champions, that's one of my highest recommended expansions. This is my most recommended expansion. The, what is it called? Oh, it flew out of my head.
Oh, geez.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, this most recommended
I knew it
expansion.
until you said it.
Embers of a Forsaken Star.
Forsaken Star, yeah.
Yes, so that's my number 1 all-time most recommended expansion ever is that one.
It is. It fixed the game for us because 2-player was just...
So I love the game, the base game as it was. But they went in and said, okay, every little tiny little problem it had, I consider them tiny. Some people consider them big problems.
Yeah.
They just fixed every one of them. They went down the list and fixed every issue that the game had. And it plays solo now, and it plays 2-player now with that expansion. So, better. I think they gave a kind of a 2-player variant that wasn't very good, but there's actually a good 2-player version. So good. If you like space, if you like fighting, you like doing all sorts of fun stuff. It reminds me a lot of video games where you just you get a little ship and you just point in a direction and go do something, right?
That's what's fun about that, too, because if you do fly into the sun or something ridiculous, you just reset.
Well, before, that's one of the...
cleans it up a little bit. Yeah, before it was really punishing.
Before you lost a turn, which was really bad. Now you just kind of come back damaged and now, your next turn.
Yeah, you're good. It's very video game-esque.
So good. This one's fun because you can go out and you can be a pirate and go and raid people and do merchants, and then you get beat up a little bit, and then you come back and you be a good guy, or the other way around. All sorts of fun stuff. You have your ship. You start with a little rinky-dink, little tiny little ship, and you Tetris your components in. So if you want some weapons and shields and things, you only have so much space. So if you get this big giant laser, you're not gonna have room for engines and shields. So you got to kind of balance. Do I want a little tiny engine and a big giant gun, or I want a little tiny gun or no gun at all and big engines? But as you go, you can build up and get bigger ships as you go. So basically upgrade to the mid-sized ship and then the big giant massive ship. It's a race for victory points, which I enjoy. I mentioned that in doing Imperium. You're racing to get a certain number of, fame points or something like that. And you can decide how many you go for. So if you want to do a long game, you may do 20. You want to do a shorter game, maybe you do 15 or 10. You can decide how long your game is by how many fame points you're racing to get. So good, so amazing, so much fun. Comes with pre-painted miniatures.
They're nice.
Awesome. I don't paint. I can't paint.
You can too. You do quite well.
I can't paint. So pre-painted miniatures are amazing for me. The expansion adds in modules because it's a roll and move game. A lot of people don't like that because you could have a big giant engine and you roll a 12-sided die and you move one space. But you can get mods that modify that. So basically your lowest roll may be a 4 or a 5 or whatever. So you can buy mods to, if you have problems with that, modify your engines, make them better.
Right.
Same way with the guns. If you keep rolling crappy rolls with your guns, you can mod your guns and give them a minimum roll as well. Fun stuff. So fun.
Well, the other thing I like about this game is you can adjust the length of the game.
Yeah.
This is another one like Fleet Captains we talked about before.
That. You wandered off at the door.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's my favorite thing. Well, I must have subconsciously heard you then. Because, I love that because as people in the chat were talking about how difficult it is to get these to the table sometimes. Right. That made it so much easier for us with the expansion tightening it up too. And it's just like, oh, this is so great.
The only minus with shortening the game like that is you usually don't get to the bigger ships.
Yeah, it's almost like you start to get momentum and then the game ends.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I want to play longer.
I love the epic, full-blown, like
so
20
fun.
or 30 points, whatever the score sheet goes to.
I think it's like 30. And it's crazy because they have these cheesy name titles. Remember, as you gain your fame, you get a wackadoodle title. And they're hysterical. And sometimes they're a little punny or make fun of other space series and things like that. And you're like, I think I know what they're referencing there. It's just, I love the little touches.
And you mentioned the titles. Basically, you can also, as people reach certain thresholds of score, they have a thing you can shoot for. And maybe it's like first person to do this gets this cool title. And basically it's a special power you get for the rest of the turn.
Stupid title too.
Yeah.
It's just.
Game's so good. I love it. I've loved it since the first time I played it. It's been in my top 10 ever since I played it. So great.
That's right.
Amazing.
Yeah, like Kabuki points out, you start out as Mostly Harmless. And I'm like, Douglas Adams. I love it. Yeah, it's wonderful. Such a good game. Such a good game. I approve this message.
All right, let's move on to another game that went up. It was my 6th last time, so it went up a couple of spots. It came on the list at 22 because we had just played it, and then it went up to 6 and 6 again last year, and now it's up to 4 because, speaking of sandbox games, how about we leave space and go to the Old West in Western legend.
Yeah,
So good.
Another good one.
I love this game.
You do love this game.
I love this game so much. So just imagine basically all the things I said for Zaya. Just imagine it in the Old West. So you're out, you're robbing banks, you're going and beating up other players, you're rustling cattle or delivering cattle, whichever you want to do. Wrangling cattle,
Wrangling, not rustling.
Wrangling.
Wrestling's illegal. Wrangling's legal.
You can do wrangling too. Steal the cows. Anyway, you go beat up bandits if you're playing the good guy. You have 2 different tracks you can go up on. You can go on the martial track, which is the good guy track, or you can go up on the bandit track or the outlaw track, bad guy track. You get points for going up that track. You can switch gears. Like midway through, you're like, I'm tired of being a good guy. Let's go beat some players up.
But you are resetting on a score track when you do that, so there's a risk.
But what I like about it most, why it's just a hair better than Zaya, you get to gamble. So your cards, you're playing when you're playing the game, you're using cards as actions. So you actually have a normal deck of cards, 52 card deck. There's some jokers and stuff mixed in, but basically a 52 card deck, and they have actions on them. So I may play this card to move and do something else, or move and do an action or whatever. The cards also, if you go to the gambling hall, if you go to the tavern or the inn or whatever it's called, you go in, you use those cards to gamble. So the aces are amazing actions. They're super good actions, but you can use those aces for your poker game. So it's like, oh, what do I do? So you go to you have a poker game. If there's no one to play with you, you play against the NPC. But anyone that's in town can jump in on your game. If you're going to start a poker game, everyone puts in an ante. You play a poker game, winner takes all. So good. Love the multi-use cards, especially because the higher the cards are, obviously they're better for poker for the most part. But the better the actions, you're giving up some amazing actions. If you want to do a full house, you're giving up some good cards. Unless you do a low number full house.
I think that's why I don't rank this one as high.
Why?
Which is funny because I inevitably choose poorly. Like I'll pick a subpar poker hand. Like I don't read you at all.
Oh, I love this game.
And then
so good.
I give up all these great cards. And then he's like, let's fight. And I'm like, awesome. I just trashed all my good cards.
Yeah, that's another thing. If you get into fights, you use your cards to fight too. So there's another use for the cards. So it's like, oh, what do I do? The expansions add a different way. There's another way to gamble. It's kind of a Keno or something like that you can do. It's a kind of a weird card casino game. But one of the expansions adds a whole other board, which adds exploration to the game. Normally, it wasn't an exploration game. It adds exploration, so you can go out on the frontier and go and do exploration and get bennies for going around and discovering new areas. What's wrong with bennies?
Nothing. It's cute. I just think it's funny.
Benefits. You get benefits for going to those areas.
I just like it. You're like one of the cool things. Like you get a bench.
One of the expansions adds a train, so there's a train moving around the track. You can just hop on the train and drive over to some other location.
And I don't know why every single time we play this game now, I think Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
And hopping on the train and riding around the world on that train. It's just so funny because it reminds me of
good. It's got goals. I don't know what they call them, quests. They're basically quests that you can do. Basically, it's things you have to do, and multiple players can jump in and do that quest and get benefits together. So good. Mm-hmm. What are you looking for?
I was looking to see for the name. Sorry, story cards?
Story cards.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
I found it.
Anyway, love it. There's I think the last expansion is, we haven't played the last expansion yet. Blood Money, I think, was the last expansion.
Yeah.
I don't think we've played that one yet. So the game is complete, done. I got all kinds of cool wooden bits and things and loveliness and player mats and all sorts of fun stuff for this game.
And it's really fun because, again, you get that video game feel because you're like, I'm going to go clean out a bandit nest, and you're just like, go in and have a gunfight and go crazy.
Right.
And then you turn around and you're like, I'm going to take out another player. It's just, I love it. It's so funny. Such a good game. Sandbox goodness.
Yeah, I got to get this played. I got to get the last expansion, Blood Money, played.
We do need to. This is overdue.
I have the hardback rule book sitting over on the shelf of opportunity to remind me that I need to play it because there's an expansion we haven't played yet.
I'm excited about that.
Love it. So good. I like it. Like I said, I like it slightly better than Zaya for the sole reason, poker.
Which is funny because that's flipped for me. But I like spades.
I love
and I suck at poker.
I spend. I'm very.
cheap.
I could probably do better this game, but I always go play poker. I like get my poker hand together. I go play poker. Get my poker hand together. Go play poker. I do other things, but I like the poker.
Every once in a while, you wrestle some cattle and cause some trouble.
I do wrestle. I wrangle some cattle. What are you talking about?
No, you don't.
I wrangle.
No, you don't. You're a wrestler.
Am I?
Yes.
Speaking of wrestling, that doesn't mean anything. Let's look at my number 3 or top 3. What order are they in? You probably know what they are, but what order are they in? Is my number 2 last time. It came on a list at number 2 because take a heavy Euro game and an 18XX game and merge them, and it explodes in a supernova that is City of the Big Shoulders. This one dropped because I played this at a convention and I got paulified. That's a new verb for the show. Getting paulified. That's where you get annihilated.
By Paul?
By a game you love.
Oh, okay.
No, it wasn't Paul.
Oh,
I got annihilated.
Paul? Okay. That's funny.
It's
now a verb. You're now a verb, Paul.
They taught me just how mean this game can be. Because for the most part, when I play 18XX style games, I kind of am nice for the most part. I'll do little things. I'll poke at you. I'll like block you and do some things. This game can be crazy mean, like crazy means, just like 18XX games. But anyway, so this takes the stock market system of of 18xx, combines it with a heavy Euro game and heavy economic game. It's so good. Basically stock market style game. Love it. There's so many things I love about the game. I could just go on, but I'll give you some of the highlights. So one of the highlights is when you start off, there's very few worker placement spots that you can go to. As time goes by, players actually get to introduce and choose new worker placement spots to go on the board. And if people use your worker placement spot, it gives you a benefit. I didn't say Benny.
Oh, I'm disappointed.
Benny. Gives you a Benny. Kind of like if you played Lords of Waterdeep, where you build those buildings, and if people go to your building, you get a little benefit. Same thing in this. And in fact, if you go to your own spot, you get the same benefit. Doesn't matter who goes there. Love that. I love how the businesses work. It uses 18xx where you have a business that you're running and you have their business money, right? So you use that to build up the business and work it. But the whole goal is to get that money and convert it over into your own personal income. So it uses that mechanism from 18xx where you're trying to make money, at the same time get that money transferred to your personal money, and because your personal money is your score at the end of the game.
These were like my training wheels to 18xx.
It is. It's a great introduction to 18xx. If you have a heavy Euro player who's thinking about, hey, I want to try an 18xx, but I'm not sure, this is kind of the bridge between the two. So you go from a heavy Euro game to this City of the Big Shoulders over to
nothing
to an 18xx game.
Neutral.
What?
How about the sequel of The Town of the Tiny Thighs?
Town of the Tiny Thighs.
I did read that right. Yes, I did.
Town of the
We're gonna have to ban neutral.
It'd be like
one of those cartoon caricatures.
It's basically you take an 18xx game and a party game and put them together.
Ew. Yes, probably.
I know.
Somebody skipped leg day. That's what I'm hearing.
I don't know.
This is my 73, and that tells you because I like heavy games, but I don't typically get super crazy about like. I mean, I like them, but I'm not crazy about 18xx games and stuff. And this is in my, 73. It's like solidly in my top 100 list. Yeah. It's crazy. And it's so good for teaching you where the money goes, what and when, and keeping it straight. And
it actually has a little section in the rulebook that says this is how it relates to 18xx games. It says if you're familiar with 18xx games, this is what you'll see that's familiar. Really good, great heavy Euro game, but it is the 18xx part of this makes it really mean because there's ways to prevent people from getting the resources they need or jump ahead of them in line of producing goods and all sorts of really mean stuff. I played this game 3-player at a convention, and both of them. You ever see the movie scene where everyone pulls a gun and points guns at each other?
You guys were like this all throughout.
No, they both point their guns at me.
They're like, "What you doing?"
And I'm like. They
pulled you?
They hammered me, and once I was you ever hammer a nail and the nail gets a little bit bent and you're like, oh, let's just pull that nail out and start over. No, they hammered it and they bent it over and they bent it and they smashed it into the wood. That's how bad I got beat at this game.
That's just sad.
That's why it dropped a place.
Oh my gosh.
Love City of Big Shoulders. What's interesting is this game and 18 Chesapeake play in about the same amount of time. So they're very similar length, similar weight, similar. They have the same kind of vibe. One more Euro-y, one more 18xx-y. XXy. Anyway.
Stormy Husky Brawling?
Stormy Husky Brawling. So what would be the thin thighs? Skinny, wiry.
Wiry. They're wiry.
Sad. I don't know.
Skipped leg day.
That's my number 3. It was my number 2 last time. City of the Big Shoulders.
Pretty sweet.
Top 2.
Oh, okay. Place your. Oh,
What? You're gonna do a poll?
Uh-huh.
All right.
So what should I make the poll? Let's see here.
You're gonna spoil my list.
No, I'm not gonna spoil your list. You hand me the mouse. Let me have the mouse. I'm gonna do a poll.
Don't spoil my list.
I'm not gonna name any
Don't
games.
spoil my list.
I got this.
What is she doing? What is my show has been taken over.
It has.
All right.
What's the question?
I'll drink a beverage while I wait. No, just the number 1 game. I don't know why you put top place.
All right, I can put number 1.
That's weird.
Jeez.
Top place.
All right, nerd. Okay, let's see here. Ask your community.
You're asking if I have the same number 1 as last year.
Yeah. Thank you, spoilers. I'm putting it in there.
Oh,
Give it a second. The poll should pop in if it hasn't already. It's slow to show up. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. I know. He pauses. It's like he can't talk to you guys. It's funny. I threw him off. I threw off his group. Okay, you guys got a chance. Take that poll. Did he? Did he, guys? Did he keep the same number 1? Inquiring minds want to know. 9 votes. You guys have 15 more seconds. Oh.
I'm surprised.
Oh, it's getting pretty even. It's getting pretty even.
Surprising.
About 10 seconds.
Oh, I swayed the vote by talking.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
They haven't heard what I said yet. It's 30.
Did you give a tell of any kind?
All right, end it. Boom. 71% said that it's the same number 1. My number 2 game was my number 3 last time. It moved up 1 place because I want to play this game so bad.
Okay.
This is probably my number 1 most want to play game, period. Because it's been a while since we played this for
I know exactly
obvious reasons.
Yes.
In fact, I have the expansion sitting over there,
Staring us
unplayed
in the face.
for how many years now?
At least 2.
At least 2 years.
It's making me weep internally.
If all goes well, my request for my birthday is a 6-player game of Twilight Imperium.
Get your boosters, peeps. Let's roll.
Twilight Imperium. Oh, so good, so good. I want to play. This is my most want to play game. It's not even close. There's not even. It's not. Second place is like
My number 7.
You ever watch the Olympics are running right now?
Yes, they are.
You ever
They're
see
awesome.
the Olympics where that guy is like the cross country or whatever it is skiing, and it shows the distance between him and second place. It's like 5 minutes. You can't even see second place. Second place is like on the other side of a mountain somewhere. That's how far ahead this game is from second place of my most want to play games. It's not even close.
Wow.
Not even close because I love this game so much, and it's been at least 2 years, probably 2.5 years since I've played this game. I almost signed up for it on the cruise, but I couldn't justify spending 6 hours
Would
playing.
have probably had a small stroke.
It would have been worth the blowback from pick.
Because you didn't.
Oh, sweetie, I forgot to tell you. I'm going to be playing Twilight Imperium all day today.
Notice he didn't sign up for that. So
I did not sign up for it. I said it was almost worth it.
Okay.
That's how bad I want to play this game. I want to play it so bad because
He's so smart.
I played this game probably 6, 7, 8 times over my life, which is for a once 2 year game. That's pretty good. Every single time there's an amazing story. There's like memories.
It is. They're fantastic.
What's my number 3? See the big shoulders? See? Story. All these games have stories of things that have happened. These top games have memories, epic moments, stand-up moments, betrayal moments, I can't believe that happened moments. Those are the kind of games that are going to be at the top of my list because I've played Deception, Murder in Hong Kong is one of my favorite games.
Yep.
I couldn't tell you, there's only one play ever of that game that I have any memory of what happened in it. One game.
Oh, I know the story for that one too.
But anyway.
That's funny.
That's because it was a really weird situation. But
it was. And it was hilarious. But
this game has
every game.
Epic moments every time. Last time we played was the game of epic betrayal. It almost cost us our marriage.
No, it didn't. You were proud of me. You were so proud.
I was so mad.
was
But
mad.
secretly I was like, oh, it's so good. I can't believe she did that. It's so good.
The one time you finally trusted me.
Oh, but so betrayed me. But anyway, love it. Yeah, I was heated. I was like, oh, angry. But I secretly was like, wow, that was an awesome play. Anyway, Twilight Imperium, if you don't know what this game is, crazy epic space 4X game. You're building up ships, you're taking over planets, you're destroying each other, big epic battles of death, you're doing tech trees, you're controlling planets, you're voting on laws, you're doing all sorts of stuff. Epic. But that said, this is a 4 to 8 hour game.
Oh, easy.
This version.
Yep.
I think we played a 3-player game in 4-ish hours.
Yeah.
We played a 5-player game. It took about 6 hours. So your mileage may vary, but it is an all-day epic experience. So worth it. That that every time I walk by my shelf and I see that expansion sitting over there, I'm like, oh, task me.
So, people are asking which races you have won at. Do you recall?
My favorite race are the super tech ones, the bug guys. I think they're the computers. The one that does the technologies. That's my favorite by far. I've only won this game twice. The one time I won once playing the whichever one does the tech. I think it's the bugs, maybe the little computer guys. And I technically won a game with the lions, the space lion guys, but we never finished. But I was like way ahead, and they said, we're done. Let's call it. It's like 4 a.m. And I was way ahead. So I consider it a win. I was winning like by 5 points. And if you know anything about Twilight Imperium, that's like light years ahead of the rest. Love this game. I actually enjoyed it. A lot of people say it's not good 3 players. Our 3-player game
We've had a lot of fun.
Worked just fine.
We love it.
Love it. Loved it so much.
It is. This is.
I mean, if this interests you at all, you owe it to yourself to play it once. Because
it is an experience.
It is a
really good experience.
Like I said, a lot of board games, you step away, you're like, oh, I had fun, but then 2 days later, you couldn't tell me what I did in that game. I'm like, oh, I think I won. I don't know. This one's like, I remember the time you did that, or whatever. And then one time that we had like a stand-up like screaming match at each other one time in a good way, but it was
mostly
a mostly good way.
Rules misunderstanding.
And I was like, oh.
It was great. It turned out into like a full-blown debate, and it was like, it's what the Star Wars like assembly of the planets or whatever should have been like. That would have been exciting.
Yeah.
But no.
Oh, and there's a story. One time,
we had fun.
Me and one of my friends, we like, okay, I'll take this planet if you take this planet. If you let me take this planet, I'll let you have this planet.
Oh my gosh, I remember this.
And I took the planet, and I didn't let him have the other planet. He's so mad. Love this game. So good.
It's so funny. Well, and then it's like, I just need to pass through.
Yeah.
Do you mind just let me
pass through, and then you attack them.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, don't even fall for that. Don't even.
Oh, so many. Anyway, so many stories. Love this game.
Good times.
Cannot wait to play this again. Like, I was almost willing to get negative brownie points to play this game. That's how bad I want to play it.
You debated, but you did choose wisely.
I did choose wisely.
I'm so proud of you.
Like, oh, sweetie.
Nick had a good suggestion. Just play it from like 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. and you're good.
True. But I could be like, oh, sweetie, I reserved you an all-day spa day today.
You might convince me, possibly.
Why don't you go to the spa all day for like 6 to 8 hours?
Yeah, I wouldn't figure anything out there. Interesting.
Twilight Imperium, my number 2. It was my number 2 in 17, my number 2 in 18, my number 2 in 19, my number 3 last year, back in its rightful place at number 2. And we've arrived at my number 1 game. No surprise. 2015, it came on at number 6. Then it's 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1 again, because it is the best game ever made, best game I've ever played, best experiences I've ever had in a board game. War of the Ring. Cue the end of the show, because I've talked about this game so much, but I'll talk about it again. So take what I said with Twilight Imperium. Epic moments, epic experiences, memories, awesome things happening, and put my favorite IP on top of it. And you've got War of the Ring.
Chef kiss.
War of the Ring, Lord of the Rings is by far my favorite book series, along with The Hobbit. My favorite book series, not even close. My favorite movies, not even close. And I get to play all that in a board game.
This is shocking. I'm glad I was sitting down when you told me.
There was a moment.
This stunning revelation.
There's a moment of weakness last year when I thought City of the Big Shoulders might be my favorite.
I'm starting to get an eye twitch.
So I played. I told this story. I'll tell it again. I played City of the Big Shoulders the first time. I'm like, oh my gosh, this game's so good. And I played it again. I'm like, oh, this might be my favorite game. And then we pulled out War of the Ring. I'm like, I need to know. We played War of the Ring again. I'm like, not even close. Not even close, because friggin' Gimli stormed the Mines of Moria and killed the Balrog.
My favorite was when you had Elrond hiding in the bushes because he was
using the Elden Ring. It's like, oh my God. Gimli stormed the mines of Moria
and
reclaimed it from the Balrog.
Yes.
She saw it. Rebecca's like, I got this Balrog. I'm just gonna do whatever I went and killed that Balrog.
So stinking mad. So mad.
I formed up an army and went in and killed the Balrog. Anyway.
Yes.
So many stories about this game. The freaking Elrond hiding in the bushes story has got to be the best ever.
That was one of my favorites. And okay, Dark Tater, I'm telling you right now, that's the Banhammer material right there. The Dumbledore came to the rescue. Garbage. Oh my goodness.
Dumbledore.
Fired. You're fired, Tater.
Is Radagast kind of like Dumbledore, maybe?
No.
What about Bombadil? Tom Bombadil? Maybe he's like, no.
What's wrong with you?
Gandalf?
Now we're at least in the same universe.
How about Saruman? Dumbledore and Saruman? Yeah, anyway.
What's wrong with you?
Anyway, favorite game. Love Lord of the Rings. I get to basically, the way I explain this game is imagine Lord of the Rings with all the characters at your disposal, and you get to write the story however you want. You can keep the fellowship together all the way to the mountain.
Gimli, though, you got a little wild.
You can spread your guys out. You can send them wherever you want. You can do whatever. You can go attack Saruman and wipe him out, or you can just let him do his own thing and go do something else.
There are Groots in this game.
You can play the bad guys. You can be evil guys with your Nazguls flying around everywhere, manipulating the war. They have the elephants chomping across the land, destroying everything.
That's good.
So good.
We play as Randall Thor.
We play with we usually play with everything. So we got the eagles, and we got we got Treebeard and the Ents, and we have giant bats and spiders and all sorts of fun stuff in this game when we play with everything.
I was gonna say somebody was asking about how you felt about the expansion.
Love them.
But I agree.
It makes the teach harder.
It does.
It makes the game longer
because there's a lot more unique card play and stuff, and they're very asymmetrical. There's like very specific conditions when people come out, so you're constantly stopping to read and make sure. Because I for one, like, especially if obviously it's a 2-player game, so you've got all these characters, and if you're playing all the bad guys, obviously, then you're gonna watch and try to see when your dudes are coming out so that you can
best triggers when all your big minions and monsters and stuff can activate.
And they trigger differently for the good guys versus the bad guys and all this stuff. So, I mean, you're constantly checking to see if you've missed a trigger or something. That's the only part that's a little bit tough.
It's got multi-use cards, so cards can be used for the action, or they can also be used during combat. And usually the cards that have the best action also has the best combat ability. You're just like, oh, which do I use?
Yeah.
Got that going on. It's got dice things. It's got hidden information. It's got crazy stand-up moments. But we played this game. I've played it a few times without you, but when we played it, and all the times I played it without you, it always seems like friggin' Frodo is like right on the edge of Mount Doom, ready to toss the ring in.
So well balanced.
And it's like just moments away, and either he gets corrupted, and just like in if you watch the movie, spoilers, he gets corrupted and go, nope, I'm not going to do it, or he throws it in. It's literally like that moment that's in the movie of indecision, that one last bag draw to see what happens. So good. We've had a few games where we've won with the military victory, which is somewhat uncommon. But anyway, epic moments. Elrond hiding in the bushes with his elven ring. Gimli killing the Balrog. One time I actually did a military victory with the free people, which is like impossible because
it is. I was also that was the first time I played the bad guys. That's not fair.
I got a military victory with the free people, which is next to impossible.
When you're used to playing the good guys people, you're not.
She wasn't near aggressive enough.
No, because I was so used to once your people die, they die. So I'm like,
the bad guys, they're just throwing guys against the wall. They're like, they're throwing people.
I wasn't doing that, and you're like, ha ha ha, I'm gonna steamroll you, and I was like, I was not aggressive enough.
But anyway,
really, that's not
love this game. So good. Favorite game of all time. I would say not close, but Twilight Imperium is really good. It is really good, but I love it. I'm looking for the game that's going to change my mind. It's like that guy in the meme sitting at the table with the little sign.
Changed my mind.
War of the Rings is the best game ever. Changed my mind.
Right.
I'm waiting for that game to do that, and there hasn't been a contender since 2016. So.
Right. Yep. And yeah. People were talking about Rebellion because like that's the one where it's like a Star Wars picture.
Yeah, if you're a Star Wars fanatic,
it's gonna be
it's very similar.
Like, yeah, and this is your War of the Rings.
I think this one's more epic it has a more epic feel than Rebellion does, but
the theme is so crazy strong in that one too. But this one definitely has the epic feel with it. So yeah, it's so good, so good.
And that is it, folks.
What was it, Troll? I saw. Oh yeah, there's an expansion in the works for this. That if you win with the Fellowship, it's 30 minutes of different endings. So true.
We were joking about that. We watched the other night. We were joking about the endings because some movie star was like walked out because he got tired of the endings. I think it was Jack Nicholson.
Oh really?
He just walked out. He's like, I'm tired of these endings. He just walked out of the movie. I think it was him. I may be remembering that wrong. But
maybe it was Jack Nicklaus, the golfer.
No. It's the Joker.
The Joker. One of the Jokers.
All right, folks. That is it for our top 100 for this time. So some housekeeping. Some housekeeping for those fans.
I don't like housekeeping.
For those fans.
Housekeeping?
Clean up. This is like the when you play a board game. There's that upkeep phase.
Oh, okay.
This is the upkeep.
All right, I'll tolerate that. That's good.
Tomorrow night, special after party. So if you want to see the after party where I talk about trends, things I've seen, maybe some trivia questions, talk about new games we played that might make my list, things like that. Tomorrow night, a special after party. The reason we're having a special after party because 1 week from tonight, we'll be on a boat in the middle of the ocean. So we won't have a show tomorrow, next week. And the week after is the day we get back, so unlikely to have a show then. So we're going to be off for 3 weeks.
Mutation celebration.
3 weeks we're going to be off. At the other end of that hiatus, as you say, and I tried to cram everything that we were going to do during that time into these few days, so you're not really missing too much. But anyway, on the other end, we're going to have a variety show where the main focus is talking about the Dice Tower Cruise.
Oh yeah, we're going to make a little thingy. Yep, a little video.
So that's going to be the main focus of
vlog, as it were.
Our first show back. Then the following week, I don't know what date that is. It'd be 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks from tonight. Our combined top 100 of all time.
I'm so about that too.
If you've seen this in the past, we do this.
So much fun.
We do this every year. We take our lists, we merge them together, we rank the top 100 games, and then we do a live scroll of all the games, and we just talk about them quickly as it scrolls by. And you see all our top combined 100, merged our list together. It is what we call the definitive top 100 list of all time.
It is not the one with the costumes. That's during Halloween. I don't think I can handle that much work right now.
And someone wants us to do Fog of Love, so we may do a late, spring.
Late Valentine's Day, yeah.
Late Valentine's Day Fog of Love.
Love is in the air, spring edition.
Something like that. That's it.
That one is the one.
So we'll see you tomorrow night, and then we won't see you for a while. So if you want to see us one last time before we go, tomorrow night is the place to be. Say good night, Grayson.
Good night, Gracie.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
See, that's what happens when you let the non-tech person try to end the show. Try again. Someone that says end video.
Oh my God.
Not technical difficulties.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Click subscribe to join our wonderful viewer community.
Want to be notified when we upload a new video or go live? Click on the little bell below.